Hello everyone, how are you today? Good to see you and good weekend. Okay, today looks like the live stream is starting smoothly without any issues, looks like. But if you see any problems here, please let me know on the chat. Today is Saturday on the 15th August. I'm just here to do some psychology or free talk. So just have some cup of tea or coffee on your hand and just relax and enjoy the live stream. And today I was going to do it later in this afternoon, but I have to go out from the room, from the house tonight, because my friend has a new baby. They have just a new baby. It's a boy. And I wanted to visit them tonight because it suits for them. That's why I scheduled this live stream a bit earlier time today. So, but yeah, thanks for joining. I see some people here already. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's a boy and they wanted to have baby for a few years. I know them for few years here in Dubai, and they always wanted to have babies, but finally, their dream came true. So it's a happy moment for them. Yep. So in the month of August, I've been doing live stream almost every day from Monday until Saturday. And Sundays are off, so tomorrow is off. But next Monday, I do again every day live stream. But due to my schedule, some times may be changed. So please subscribe and click the bell notification on, so that you get notified when I do the live stream. You get the pop-up. So whenever time suits you, you can join. Otherwise, you can watch the archive. So in the month of August, this is mid-August now. We finished half August already. But how's your trade and how's your overall situation so far? To me, in the month of August, in terms of trading, I found the markets are some markets trending. There was a huge BOJ intervention and US rates check and everything, so JPY pairs went down. But I didn't take any positions, so of course I didn't lose big. And gold was bullish in a 4-hour time frame. And some of the Forex pairs are trending. So usually August, between July and August, the market tends to be quiet. But this year, I found they are more active. So we can find opportunities. And Swiss franc pairs are trending too. They are bullish this in the month of August. Okay, and so this week the topic on Ichimoku Basics on Wednesdays and Fridays were about the Tenkan-sen, and next week I'm going to explain the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen together combination and how you analyze and trade the markets live. So Wednesdays and Fridays are about Ichimoku Basics. And Tuesdays and Thursdays are KTS analysis. KTS is my trend follow strategy. It's a multiple time frame trend follow strategy. And I check the Kijun-sen and Kumo angles, plus Tenkan-sen Chikou span, and entry, exit on the lower time frames. And you can actually have the free video series on my website. You can check. And once you take that free lessons, then you come back to my live stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I think things are make much more sense to you. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Okay, let me say hi to everyone. Hello, Joanne, good to see you. And Nano Evolution, thank you for joining too. Yeah, thanks so much for the comment. Yeah, it's been a nice week actually. I did live stream every day, and yeah, it was also rewarding for me. I get some inspirations from the comments, and I simply like to share knowledge. I think teaching is built in my genes through my father. My father was, the teacher at the university, and he teaches how to get the job to the students. And so he's been a teacher. He was running after school when I was small, and he sold a business and he changed career to teaching how to get the job and some of the other topics and subjects at universities. So yeah, I think I got the same genes. I also helped him how to, helped him when he was running the after school. The targets were elementary school, middle school kids. So when I was high school, I was helping him. When he was not at home, I instead taught the kids. So and then when I was in America, I was a Japanese teacher. So that's how I managed to pay the tuitions in America. And yeah, I was also teaching some other subjects and some Japanese cultures. I was a tour guide, and I was HR staff, HR employee back in Japan, and now I'm also sharing some knowledge. So it's really rewarding for me, and I simply like to do this. All right, Hustler, good to see you. All right, Morsan, good to see you too. All right, Hustler says, hello, okay, what if I use only price action and Fibonacci only as an entry strategy instead of 5 things you mentioned in the entry strategy? Yeah, of course it's possible. Yep, it's possible. You can enter in the price action Fibonacci. That's also possible, yes. But make sure you backtest before you implement it in the live market. My recommendation is at least you do 100 trades by using FTO, Forex tester, or bar replay in TradingView. I think FTO is better so that you see the stats and AI analysis, and you get more insights on your trades. But at least you do 100 trades by price action Fibonacci strategy, and if the performance is good, you can of course implement it in the live. Yeah. In terms of the entries, I use lots different kinds of confirmations. I use the price action, Bollinger Bands, stochastic Fibonacci, Tokyo box, and lines, support resistance, the trend lines, and the counter trend line, and I use divergence strategy, and the patterns like a double top, double bottom, and head on the shoulders for these entries on the lower time frames. So I combine all these strategies, and I look for the entry edge by using these tools. In higher time frames, I use Ichimoku only. But when it comes to entries on the 5-minute, I want to be more precise, so I use these tools. But I will get to that in coming days when I do the KTS lecture on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, Daniel says, JPY was not tradable for me, and USD is getting an offer, but I don't trust it. Yeah, JPY is impossible to trade at the moment. Usually after the huge spike, the market tends to be very quiet or it loses direction. So I think JPY pairs, you better stay away. But I do see some JPY pairs trending at the moment. So I may follow some of the pairs, but most likely I see some the other pairs besides JPY are more stable and less noise in the market. So yeah, that's the situation. I think the markets are trending, or we have some Tenkan-sen bounces, Kijun-sen bounces, especially Tenkan-sen bounce I shared with you yesterday. So we do see these confirmations for the entries. Yep. Yeah, yesterday after the live stream on Friday, after Ichimoku Basics, I was doing the membership Jissen Community live stream. And in there, I shared some Ichimoku original teachings from these original books. And one of the things that was kind of interesting was that back in those days, you know, in 1950s or 60s, people were already confused in terms of which indicators to use and which strategies to use. Seems like that was when Bollinger Band was still new in Japan, but some traders were already using moving average and the price action. But they were discussing like which strategy works better or not, or which settings are better or not. They didn't have PC, they didn't have internet, but they were already discussing what strategy works the best back then. And so Goichi Hosoda, the creator of Ichimoku, came to the world and he published a book so that you know, it cancels the confusion among the people. Even he was writing the column on the newspaper, and he was publishing it every week, every month, and that was so accurate. So lots of people came to him all the way from north part or south part. They visit him, Goichi Hosoda, and sometimes, you know, he lectured personally. But at the same time, the Ichimoku strategy itself was also getting confused because some people are discussing how to use Ichimoku better, or how to edit the Ichimoku, or this is my way of using Ichimoku, for example. So there are so many, you know, like discussions going on back then in 60s in Japan, 50s, 60s in Japan, regarding Ichimoku as well. And he's got lots of questions about that too. He's got lots of letters every day. He visits, people visit him all over from Japan while writing the columns on the newspaper. And that's another reason why he decided to publish the first book to the world. So when I read these, you know, paragraphs, I thought today is still the same. We have internet, we have PC, and now we have AI. We have new technologies, but our thinking is still the same. It hasn't been changed for the last, you know, like 80 years, 90 years, and that's kind of funny to see. He even mentioned about the broker, like how spread becomes sometimes very wide, and broker people encourages retail traders to trade more, or you know, offer different strategies and assets. And that's also exactly the same nowadays. So basically we haven't changed. So Ichimoku was originally created to filter those noise and extract all the market noise information through Ichimoku filter. you have only 3 conditions: bullish, bearish, or range. Ichimoku is here to capture 3 simple directions within the markets through the filter. So yeah, hopefully in my YouTube as well, you can filter out whether it's trending, ranging, whether it's a bullish momentum, bearish momentum, or no momentum in the market. And hopefully you simplify your view among the markets. And that was his true intention, why he created Ichimoku and why he published these books. Of course, he talks about lots of other strategies in terms of following Tenkan-sen, like I mentioned this week, or Kijun-sen, Chikou span, and Senko span AB strategies, the Kumo breakout strategies, and the forecast lines, etc. But all comes down to the basics. So yeah, that's why when I read the book, it inspires me. I can really see what hasn't changed still these days. Okay. Yeah. At first, I thought Ichimoku is way too complicated. I thought Ichimoku is so complicated and it's confusing to me. There are 5 lines and there's something called Kumo cloud, and Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen are not moving averages. Chikou span is lagging in the past. So yeah, that was confusing. But I started Ichimoku when I lost money after becoming full-time, and that was very painful. Before I quit my job, I had only few hours. As a full-time worker, I had only few hours to allocate for my trading. So let's say I go to work at 8 a.m. and I come back home at, let's say, 7 p.m. Sometimes 8 p.m., 9 p.m. I come back home and take a quick dinner. Or sometimes I even have dinner on my table and PCs right in front of me here, the screens, and I do trading while eating the dinner until I go to bed. In the meantime, I study lots of indicators, strategies. I read lots of books as well about trading, including Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. That's my Bible in terms of psychology. So I've read those books while monitoring the markets. And next morning, I go to work, and that was my routine, basically. So I had limited time. Even if I had limited time, I was able to make profits for 3 months and half a year. Then I thought it's time to resign the job. And another reason why I wanted to resign my job as HR was because I didn't want to become a manager. Because if I become manager, then I think I have less time to screen charts, less time to monitor the markets, because more responsibility. Sometimes I have to hop on a call in the midnight in Japan at home, and that was too much for me. I know it's gonna happen because my boss, my manager, was like that. And I never want to be like that before, so I quit. And after I quit, what happens was that I bought 3 extra monitors. So I had 6 monitors eventually, and I have 24 hours now, so I was really excited. I've upgraded my PC to the latest version, and I bought 3 extra screens. I bought a better chair. Basically, I was so excited, which was okay still. And what was wrong was that I applied lots of other strategies. Because I have 24 hours after resigning the job, I thought more is more. if I trade more, then I thought I can make more profits. I changed my strategy. I edited those indicators. I bought some paid indicators, paid signals, and paid EA service, paid robots. I invested some money. I think about like $5,000 or something. I invested on these, tools, and tried. But so yeah, what was wrong was that I didn't have consistency by doing that. Basically, I start to look for Holy Grail. If the strategy doesn't work, I simply put them on the trash and I bought another one and try. I basically keep repeating that. And I was anxious and nervous because I cannot make profits anymore. Even the market condition was not that changed. I changed. My psychology changed. And that's why I stopped making profits. And that was the start of my struggle. For the first 1 year was a loss. And second year was still loss, slightly loss. And on the third year, finally, I became break-even. But that was a long journey. It was 3 years, but I felt it's more than 10 years. I suffered a lot. But I didn't give up, and I didn't want to come back to the office. Because when I resigned my job, I said, I will see you, and I won't see you again. I will be a full-time trader, successful. So I will never come back, I said. So I was so proud that I became a full-time trader. So it's kind of a shame that I come back to the company again, and I didn't want to do that. So yeah, that's why I had to win profits. And after buying some indicators and tools, and I started losing trades, I even blew accounts after that. I never blew accounts when I was trading part-time, but after trading full-time, I blew accounts. I blew $10,000 once, and I recreated another $10,000, and that decreased half. And that's when I got paralysis, analysis paralysis, what we say. I analyze the market, but I got paralyzed, and I don't know what to do anymore, and I cannot trust myself, and that was really painful. I got depressed, and I went to psychiatrist and took some medication to cure depression. Took me 3 months to recover. Yeah, in that time, I started to visit Kyoto. I was in Tokyo, and I started to visit Kyoto, where temples are. That's a historic city. Kyoto has lots of temples and Buddhism and Zen practices there. I started meditation there. Before, I was never interested to do that. I thought if I just make profit, that's okay. I was arrogant. I was egoist. I didn't even play stop loss, and that's why I blew accounts. But after I lost so much, not only the amount I lost, but I lost confidence, and that was more serious. So that's why I stopped trading for now, and I went to Kyoto and start meditating, and yeah, ever since I used to visit Kyoto every 3 months to practice meditation. Sometimes I spend a few days, few nights in the temple, stay there, and do pure meditation. When I was in temple, I never check the markets. I simply check my own heart, my own mind only. It's like talk to myself or talk to nature, practice. And I was fortunate, I guess, being a Japanese myself and being able to visit Kyoto every 3 months to really recover myself, my mindset. And yeah, so after 3 months, while taking medications, I went to Kyoto and do meditations. And I thought I'm ready now to start again. So, but before I start trading, I discarded all the indicators I bought. I literally threw all these indicators and robots to trash can, and I emptied the trash can so that I cannot get them anymore physically. And what I did was I turned all the candlesticks white. Now in the trading view, I do color blue and white like this. If I just hide Ichimoku, then my candlestick colors are blue and white. But if I analyze my own, I prefer to do this all white candlesticks. That time I was kind of crazy, and I didn't want to see colors because colors are biased. So I want to take out all the colors, and I went to study the basics of the price action and how to draw the lines and how to trade only with these two things, price action and the lines. And I was basically trading USD/JPY only. I sometimes took Euro USD or some other assets, but my main asset was USD/JPY. So I was doing the lines and price action, all the color candlesticks white, so it looks like this. You can try also and see if you can trade. Yeah, like this, and take out the lines. So like this way. Yeah, I think I was a bit depressed at that time, and plus I wasn't really confident. So I wanted to try something new, but something simple. This is something also I got from Kyoto Temple. Simplicity, the power of simplicity. Yeah, before my chart was so messy, but this chart is completely opposite. It's as simple as possible. Only white colored candles, and analyze the markets this way. And then I mastered the price action and the lines. I was able to trade. I was becoming confident to trade this way. And this is totally on my own way to trade. I didn't have any teachers. I didn't have any mentors. These are all based on my own experience. Then I've added Ichimoku on these lines like this way. Any Ichimoku started to make more sense to me. Before I knew Ichimoku, before I lost the market, but I was basically not taking it so seriously. Like everyone else, I was changing the numbers and settings of Ichimoku. Sometimes I hid the Chikou span, or I change displacement of the Kumo, change numbers of Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, just to experiment and see which setting works the best, right? That everybody else usually do. But after mastering the candlesticks and lines, I applied the 5 lines, and I realized, oh, I don't have to, change anything here. This is just as is. It's perfect. And then I started to read the books. Actually, Ichimoku books I started to read when I was almost recovering from the depression. So that was back in 1915, 16. I started to read Ichimoku original books. I went to one of the old bookshop in Tokyo, and I happened to find the book. First time I didn't know about Ichimoku original books exist in Japan. I didn't know about Ichimoku, first of all, so much. So when I saw the book title Ichimoku Kinko-hyo on the bookshelf, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I opened it. Opened the very first volume of Ichimoku. So that was this one over here. This is exactly the first book I bought from one of the old Japanese bookshop. And I saw Ichimoku Kinko title here on the bookshelf. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. What's this? And I took it like this way and I opened and I saw inside. Then, oh, this is too difficult. So at first I kind of, ignored the original teachings because there's no charts in the book and it's not practical. It's he doesn't mention exactly what conditions you trade and what conditions you exit. He doesn't really mention those things in this book. So I thought, oh, it's not worth it. And this one is expensive book. So I thought it's not worth it. So I actually bought it that time, but I didn't read seriously. I just bought it as a Bible because I never seen this book before, Ichimoku Kinko Hyo, and maybe in the future I thought it means something to me, so I just bought it like a Bible, but I kept it on the bookshelf. Then after trading some more months, I wanted to master Ichimoku more seriously, and I opened this book again, and he talks about some Zen and Buddhism mindset. And again, that time I was already visiting Kyoto every 3 months. And I got some lectures about Buddhism and Zen mindset there. There are lots of Zen temples in Tokyo too. So I used to visit there and I was resonating to Zen philosophy. Then I read this book again and it resonated me more. And I thought this is the truth about the trading. So as I read the books more and as I practice more, I realized, oh, this is the perfect system as is. So ever since, I only use Ichimoku to trade in higher time frames. So everything takes time. Nothing can be done in a short time. Rome is not built in one day, or we say we have to sit on the stone for at least 3 years. To get understanding, you need to do something at least 3 years. But oftentimes people quit within 3 years. Even 3 days they may quit, or 3 months. But 3 years is one cycle whenever you want to learn something. And I believe so too. So I don't want to hop around anymore. I stick with Ichimoku, master one thing, then that actually becomes a shortcut eventually. Because this skill is something that you can never take from anyone else. Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's see. Yeah, everything is all about learning, I guess. It's all about learning, not only trading. Yep. They used point and figures back in those days. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Yeah. Some of these charts were created by point and figures. Yes. But mostly he drew the candlesticks every day. So he drew candlesticks or the lines in line chart, taking the close price of each day, connect dots, and that becomes a line chart, like Chikou span. Okay, Daniel says, I think buying for signals or even signal providing makes you lazy. Instead of getting into the low of the market, you just wait for the red or green arrow. That's true. That's true. That's exactly I was waiting for. When I buy the new indicator, new signal, I'm anxious to see the green arrow to buy or red arrow to sell. Especially I was using 5 minute, 1 minute time frames back then. So I was trading 20, 30 trades per day. At first, it was exciting, but when you think about how much time you invest in these type of trades, you may have to sit down in the PC for 10 hours or 12 hours, and you take 20 trades. You do this 30 days, and eventually you may not be able to make profits, and that's really painful. Even 1 week, if you invest your time 12 hours every day, trade 1 week, if it's not rewarding, then that's more discouraging. So psychologically, it's also like a double-edged sword. Okay, and when this provider stops for any reason, you hence no clue and blind again. That's true, because you simply depend on the signals. If the signal is gone, you don't know how to trade, or you have to look for other signals that you think it's trustable. So you should always do your own work. Should have tried some weed first and say, no. I did drink a lot that time. When I got depression, I drink a lot. Yeah, it's not easy job, of course. It's not simple simple job you do in trading. Okay, Nano Evolution says, I always wonder why people omit SL. It just seems so dangerous and not really any point in it. Oh, that's true. The reason why I omit stop loss when I was trading back then was because I know I'm doing right. If the market goes my way, I don't need stop loss, right? I only need TP, but I don't need stop loss. And another reason why I didn't place a stop loss that time was because if I set the stop loss, then that means if the market goes down, then I have to fix the loss. I have to execute the loss. And I didn't want to do that. But if there is no stop loss here, the market comes down and becomes below the level, but after that, it may go up this way. So if I don't have the stop loss, I thought the win rate is higher. If you have the stop loss, win rate becomes lower, was my thinking. And that was really dangerous. That's how I blew accounts. No, I didn't have any positions on USDJPY. No. Do you use Heikin Ashi? I used to use it, but I don't use it anymore. I prefer candlesticks, especially if you want to use the time cycles with Ichimoku. You better use the candlesticks and the patterns. Heikin Ashi is basically to capture the trend and reversal, right? So for the trend, direction, and the reversals, you can capture it by Ichimoku 5 lines. So you don't need Heikin Ashi to do that. Helix says, how have your expectations from trading changed with each stage of experience from your first 1 to 3 years, then 3 to 5 years, 5 to 7 years, and so on till today? How was your view of the live market evolved? I think markets are always the same. There are always trends and ranging, and that repeats over time. And regarding the first 1 to 3 years, I was toddler. I would say toddler. So I didn't know what's going on in the market, but I know I can make money, so I do it. That was, I think, the first 1 year. I think first 1 year is a hope stage. We have hope to achieve your own goals, or to resign your job, or to be free from anything. Maybe that's your first year. And maybe second and third year, you start to see some realities that trading is not easy. Even if it looks easy, but when you actually do it, it's not easy. is I think what you find on the next 2 to 3 years. And from 3 to 5 years, usually this is when people quit. This is when you hit the reality. And also you get the fear, most likely. If you continue this for the next 3 years or 5 years, then I may keep losing, or I may not getting any results. So you may feel frustrated. I think 3 to 5 is frustration year, usually. And then the breakthrough may come from the 5th year to 7th year. So yeah, to me, in my case, first 1 to 3 years was loss and break-even era. And from 3 to 5 years, I became break-even to small wins. And from 5 to 7 years, and then now I'm trading more than 10 years, it's a stable takeoff era. Yeah, because in my case, I didn't have any teachers, and YouTube was not so popular that time. There was YouTube videos and some lectures, but most of my resources were from books. And I was simply backtesting by MetaTrader MT4 that time. I was trading by MT4, charting by MT4, and doing lots of signals and trades. But looking back, I'm fortunate to have those depressed moment, so that I know how it feels, and then I never want to do that again anymore. In the GTS class, my mentorship program, it's a 3-month program, but some 3 months are ranging everywhere. Like in summertime now, whoever joins between July to September, these times usually the markets are ranging. So these students, or these students, they have less trends. So they do struggle. They enter the market, but the market retrace oftentimes, or they don't even see lots of trends for 3 months in this time between July to September. So this is when they learn how to practice on their own by running the tester and patience. Basically, they cultivate the patience this time. And between October to December mentorship time, this time I think we have trends a lot more than summertime. So easily, it becomes a bit easier to make profits with my Ichimoku strategy. But the funny thing is that let's say someone joins July to September, and they are more consistent than whoever joins October to December, because they get success trading. Sometimes they pass the prop firm challenges this time, or April to June. That time also trends a lot. So whoever joins this time, they are good. They can trade, and they have better results. But after that, after the next 3 months, no trends anymore, and they may get frustrated. So sometimes I do one-on-one call with graduates, and I get these feedbacks. So we have to see the markets in yearly situation. If you trade a few years, then you know there are trending month and trending weeks and ranging month and ranging weeks. That's also some insight you get if you be consistent in trading. Yeah, even a stone will warm up if you sit on it for 3 years. That's true. Hello, Tony. Good to see you. Thank you very much for joining. So yeah, today my live stream schedule changed because I have to leave home tonight. So I'm doing this a bit earlier time, but thank you very much for joining and lots of comments. Yeah, you can ask me any questions here. Although I have to go in about 5 minutes, but I try to cover as many comments as possible here. I made some progress this week trading gold, but got burned a little on Wednesday. Okay, couldn't time my entry right, stopped trading for the day. That's great. That's actually brave, and that's discipline there. Yeah. If you feel you are not doing well, or you are frustrated, or you cannot get the right decisions, my best advice is just walk away and come back tomorrow or come back next week. With or without you, the market's moving every day, every week, every month. So you can come back whenever you're ready again. And that's a good thing about trading. So yeah, you made the right decision. Okay, Philip says hedging orders can substitute to SL but needs tight monitoring. That's true, because you have to do it manually. SL can be viewed like the level you agree your broker to cash on your losses. That's true. That's true. In our daily life, we don't really think about stop loss, right? Let's say when you go to the restaurant, for example, then there is no stop loss. Basically, you can just keep eating. You may think you are full, but maybe you still keep eating. Or you may be hungry still, but you may keep eating. So basically, there is no like stop loss concept in the life itself. Or we are kind of educated to have more. More is better is the world education, I think. Having a stop loss or less is more is against our nature, against our genes, against our genetic order, I think. Because based on the genetics, we want to have more. We want to produce more, so we have more things in the life. And that's basically how animals survive on the planet. So like stop loss and less is more concept is against the nature, and that's why it's difficult to follow. Yeah, but whoever can do, I think, can success in the long run in trading world. In different industries, of course, are different. If you practice more in a football or baseball or violin or art, anything, if you practice more, you tend to be better. If you study more, you can pass exam better. But in trading, if you trade more, if you monitor more, if you have more bigger lot size, it doesn't guarantee you make profits. It's completely opposite psychology. Brain says, I'm considered good technique trader, but I want satiate every day and I don't accept a loss. Some advice for over trading. My advice is you set exactly how many trades you do per day. How I do is that I only screen 3 times per day, 3 to 5 times. But normally I only screen the markets 3 times. After I wake up and come back from the gym, I check the markets once, and after lunch I check again, and before after dinner I check also. So I do check 3 times like this. So yeah, if you overtrade, that means you may be monitoring too much per day. So reduce the time to screen charts and learn how to be more efficient in trading. Did anything in your trading change during COVID? No, no change. No change. Actually, in the COVID time, we had so many trends. So my strategy fit so much. So I didn't change at all. Okay, my earlier questions were about what actually works and what doesn't in the market when it comes to trading strategies rules over time. For example, let me see. For example, the realizations, the truth, and how expectations changed or were altered along the way. I think there's not changed. The strategies and rules are not changed. I think these are the same. Yeah, I mentioned in the beginning of the live stream today that even in this original Ichimoku book, back then, people are looking for the Holy Grail, and the Goichi Hosoda, the author of Ichimoku and creator of Ichimoku, was warning not to chase Holy Grail. There's no Holy Grail. You just have to sit on it and study and practice, go to basics, those things. So I think these are basically the same. Okay. Eric says, great week this week. Learned so much from you. I did very well on USDC AD short this week. Yeah, it was going down, right? I think USDC AD was one of the best pairs this week. Thank you so much. You're a great teacher. Patience is a virtue. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay, I will finish the live now. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining today. And tomorrow is a day off, so no live stream tomorrow. But next one I'm doing is on Monday. I do weekly forecast at 7 a.m. UTC time zone. I will screen some of the markets, Forex and stocks, and share my views. So please feel free to join. If you cannot, you can watch the archive. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, the rest of the weekend, and see you soon. So till then, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Mata ne. Thanks so much.